how does somebody know if they are a patriot, spiritual patriot? How do they know this?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of ways to know. First of all, you're not going to be received by everybody. I mean, as you come out with what the Father's guided you to do, you start to create storms. Now, not all storms are like parting the Red Sea, but you get the gist of it. So what has to happen as you begin to turn a little bit of the world's apple carts upside down? Remember, you know, a lot of the New Age would love to paint Master Rabbi Jesus is that he's just this peaceful, almost pacifist that went to the cross. And yet we have several examples of him turning over the tables in the temple, spanking the bankers. I remember one time, the mob was going to throw him off a cliff. They said, "My Father in heaven did not put me here to have an angry mob throw me off the cliff because my time has not yet come." And that brings up an important element. It's amazing. I know for a fact of patriots that time had not come for many, many, many years. In other words, their communication with the Father is just going like so. I mean, I don't know that anybody understands that, but if you look at John the Baptist and how long he spent with the mystical group, the Essenes, well, he wasn't out at 15 years old baptizing people. He was actually only baptizing people about 18 months before he actually baptized Master Rabbi Jesus, right? So, you're developing this communication. So, God the Father is going to say, it's some time in your communication that you are my child, whom I am well pleased. And that communication will start. Then along the way, he's going to put within your heart what you came to do. As your spiritual journey continues, your 4D body is being cleansed. And the more that 4D body is being cleansed, which holds most of your unconscious thinking and a good part of your unconscious emotions, that most people, when these emotions come up, they don't have a clue where they come from. As that strength grows and you spiritually start to meditate more, you pray more, but more importantly, you start to do. So him getting you to do might be, I need you to walk for me every day 20 to 30 minutes. I'm getting ready. You might say, well, what does that have to do with anything? Well, think about Isaiah. Think about Elijah, all this walking up in the mountains that they did for years. I mean, I can look today back at stages in my life, Jimmy, after training 52 years in this lifetime alone. And every decade, it was like, okay, he said, now I want you to steer this bus, Rasaji, this way. And sometimes you would go, holy cow, well, you had me going this way, Father. And now you got me going completely over here. But what starts to happen is, see, this trust is twofold. It is twofold. I mean, I used to be in the dancing profession years ago as I was getting into Tai Chi Gong. And whether you have a partner in ballroom dance or you have a partner in ballet, a lot of people don't know this, not being a professional dancer. But in ballroom, the guy leads every step of the way. As a matter of fact, when the two dances one, your hands don't even need to make contact with one another. Your tummies are actually pressing together and webbing and moving through time. Now, the reason I say that, because if you're a professional ballet dancer, the woman actually leads what they call the adagio, the dance of two. And that's a real challenge to go from one dance discipline to the other and understand that transference. And the reason that I give this analogy and make that relationship, you're dancing with God the Father or you're not. And you're either trusting or you're not. So when he says, okay, I need you now to go down this way, and if you got that doubting habit that you didn't get rid of in the first wave, all of a sudden comes back up again, how are you going to do his bidding? How are you going to get his work done? As I've said before, this is the stage where God the Father is choosing to expand his Holy Spirit beyond a level that we haven't seen in thousands and thousands of years. But he wants to expand his love through his children, through us. And the key people he's looking for are spiritual patriots that have gotten in a habit of two important things, Jimmy. And that is communicating with him on a daily basis and going to do the action on a daily basis that he wants you to do. Because he's preparing the vessel. He has to prepare the vessel. And he knows who's running the vessel is this unconscious human that is gradually becoming more conscious little by little. In order for that to happen, the level of trust that must happen is well beyond the trust like, okay, I'm going to walk down this aisle with this beautiful woman or this handsome man, and I'm going to spend the next 30 to 40 years with them. Obviously, there's a level of trust that needs to happen. Why would we think that that level of trust would not be 10, 100-fold? Aha, maybe we've uncovered why there's not more spiritual patriots. And number two, maybe we've uncovered why people hesitate to make communion with the Father.